Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 45 of the Star Chasers, Storm Queens, the Thunder. So, last time, the crew of the Charming Anecdote was reunited with the entire crew of the Charming Anecdote, and they proceeded to leave the giant, terrifying, gross spaceship and proceed to follow Hester's mother into the giant-dominated sphere of Isakaria's Hope. They proceeded to attempt to pilot through a storm and took severe damage to their ship, which limped to the capital city of the planet. They landed. They found a storm giant mechanic, where he found them and offered to repair the ship, what it'll cost you, he said. And then the crew went into the city. So, before we get too far, who's with you? Let me just write down who's with you so I don't forget. I believe you left the interns, Alvar and Warminster back at the... Or no, did you bring Corey because she speaks giant?
Corey is staying with the people that are fixing the ship to keep an eye on everything and make sure that they aren't putting too much on or anything. And then I believe at the end of the last episode, we also said that Knifey was staying with Corey because Corey is going to keep an eye on Knifey because Knifey said that he's going to stab a giant.
That was just an example of how he can speak giant.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely not. Yes, I don't remember any NPC, because I'm sure Alvar won't leave my ship.
Well, he's apparently not the captain anymore.
Hi, I'm the captain.
There are negotiations. Yeah, I forget. I wouldn't say no to a Warminster, or does anyone else speak giant? Is there a elf cleric, or...
Yeah, does History Elf speak giant?
Even to just not have them be able to openly conspire against us in their court would be helpful. Doesn't even have to be well-spoken giant.
Or does anybody have a comprehends languages or anything?
The Blackjammer's Cutlass can understand giant.
And I do have comprehend languages, but I think that's written.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, it's spoken. Okay, good. Excellent.
Yeah.
You and the Blackjammer's Cutlass can also communicate telepathically, right? So you can have anything translated on the down low.
Very good.
Kara's Coldforge also probably speaks giant, but she's also useful to have back at the ship. So, and I think she said 5 words on stream.
Yeah, I'm content to make your life easier.
Okay.
You don't need 37 NPCs.
Never forget him again. Never again. Until I lose this card. Then I'll have to rewatch the episode where I list all of them. Okay. So, you walk out of the docking bay area. There's a big number 94 painted on it. You walk out, and you see this, as promised, a giant's city. But you can see there are humans, and other humanoid-sized creatures, are kind of walking under these, covered walkways that protect them from kind of being stomped on by passing giants.
Very clever. I'm glad for that.
But basically everything else is giant-sized. All the stalls are giant-sized. All the buildings and such. Often they will have little human-sized doors at the bottom of the big doors.
Sure.
And you can see none of the small folk have proper stands, but you can kind of see shady back alley merchants, opening a trench coat, and it's a bunch of faux Lexes and stuff. But also food, somebody will have a little crate of, the saddest looking vegetables you've ever seen. and kind of trying to get even a couple bits for them. What would you like to
do? And we do not have any kind of escort. They got an escort. We have...
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the some sort of benighted griffin riders escorted your quarry into the city.
Giant griffins, even.
Yes.
Well, I shall stay astride my broom because I'm terribly wary about being trod on. I don't like everything this large. It's very disorienting for me, and I will just kind of try and be ever alert. But gosh, if we can, I guess make a beeline for the palace, right? I mean, that's where we suspect we're going.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. Do our best to not get slowed down by shady mercantilism.
So yeah, people will ask if you want to buy stuff as you're walking by, but you can just...
No, thank you.
Yeah, you're from a city. No, thanks. So you start walking towards what you presume is the palace. It's kind of the biggest... It's made of jagged glass with a bunch of like lightning rods at the top of it. So you start walking in that direction. In addition to the humanoids and such, and it's mixed. When I say humans, it's not all humans. It's elves, dwarves, dragonborn. It's everybody. If they're a playable race, they're here. As you're walking, you hear the giants from the causeway. The Giants' Causeway. Nailed it. Also start bellowing about supplies, adventuring supplies, potions. Get your potions. Potions are regular size. And you can keep walking unless anyone wants to stop for giant-sized wares.
Just forlornly looking at all of them like, I was giant-sized once.
You could be again.
You can be again.
Gear to
if you buy a potion of regular
create
size.
That for you.
Just get a potion of regular size and doff that.
They call it water, though, right? They just drink it and nothing happens to them.
Right. That's
we
why
drink it. Kabam.
It makes you big if you've somehow got small. It's a potion of regular size.
Yeah, that's right. If someone shrunk you, it returns you to yes. It makes sense.
And to be clear, it's a potion of regular size to giants. It would be a potion of giant size for you all.
Yes.
Okay, just to be clear.
So that would be good in case someone shrunk us. I guess I don't have a clear picture on what money we have. I feel like we've kind of spent most of our money. Most of our loot that we got from the dragon has been tossed out into space, right?
Except for what's in the bag of holding, right?
So you all still have a sizable sizable personal fortune amongst you. You are very rich for adventurers.
Okay,
Here, I will roll some
good.
dice right now to give you an exact number.
It's the horde of it got dumped, but we are still personally enriched.
And we lost our statue.
And we did lose our statue.
That might be easier to recover. Probably more singularly noticeable in the reaches of whatever space. What was that? Hero space? Where did they get dumped?
It got dumped in fairy space.
Fairy space, that's right.
Yeah.
All the elves will love it.
Oh, yeah.
Gold.
Damn humans polluting everything.
Right.
You still
the ultimate littering with money. Like, that's the most decadent form of litter.
Yes.
Ugh, yuck.
Let me just do a quick Google to make sure my guesstimate for you all is right.
Although that does sound like something that a goop empire would do. Litter with money.
Does.
Yeah, so based on this Reddit article I just found, a bag of holding can hold over 300,000 coins. So
Right.
you all have stuff in your bag of holding. So let's say it can hold. You still have on your person about 150,000 coins.
Okay, cool. So we have money. Great, thank you. I kind of had no idea. I realized. Do we need anything? Do we need potions of regular size for Marley?
Not that I can think of. No, I feel rather good with. Although I also don't know. Probably somewhere in my notes would have a Jimmy John's.
Jimmy
potion.
Jingles?
Coupon.
I still
Jangles.
have.
I
Yeah.
don't know if I think you guys spent all of them.
Oh no, I still have a potion of healing, and a potion of greater healing.
Oh, okay. But you don't have any
From-
punch cards left, right?
No.
Okay.
No, those are just. I never did end up using them. We used all the fire resistance and giant size and things like that, but I actually do have regular ass healing potions. So I'm
Healing your ass is sometimes necessary.
yes, and yet a crack persists.
You don't want it to heal over.
Oh,
That would be a problem.
almost immediately.
That would guarantee some kind of death burst, I would say. My prediction. Yeah, I mean, I think we can ignore the perils of tourism, tourist traps, unless there's something obviously awesome, presents itself, and we're like, hey, where are we going to get this?
Yes,
I imagine that Storm asks if we need anything, and Marley's already starting to pick up the potion of regular size, and Hester's like, no, I don't think we need anything. I'm like, okay,
I
fine.
think you should have some. Do you want some regular
potion
size?
of regular
Let's get
size
some.
is this big. I can't even pantomime it in frame properly.
It's fine. It's magical, and just
Well, look, if we go get all this sorted, and quickly, then we'll probably have a couple of days in dock anyway, as we wait for our firefly to be replaced. So,
yeah, that's true.
or dragonfly.
We can think about it.
Yeah. So then there will be more than enough time to buy regular size potions.
Belt of storm giant strength. That might be on brand for me.
They just call it belt of
just cause
regular strength.
Although I have a feeling it would probably be a lot more than 150,000 gold pieces.
Yes, belt of a regular
belt like
man.
that.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe I could just buy a belt and it will do the job.
It's
Is there
It's just called belt
maybe
here.
that's the secret. They take their belts off and they're just as weak and skinny as you or I.
Yeah.
It's a belt dependent.
It's just a belt scam. Yeah.
Right. The beltway economy.
There is a belt salesman. Just nice brown leather belt.
Bracers of Al.
Al was a real good guy. Yeah.
Right.
Just bracers that belong to my friend Al. Yeah.
Hilarious. Yeah, I'm all right. I think we can pass on this for now.
Yeah, I mean,
I
we
think
can
it's
come back.
probably more important that we track down Hester.
And
I mean,
find out whatever
what
the
kind
devil
of-
these jelly people are up to.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of shenanigans could we get up to that would cause us to not be able to come back and do shopping later?
Well, yeah, there is that. I mean, the whole we can always come back later thing is like, famous last words.
Weird place for a save point. I'm sure it won't matter.
Definitely keeping my eyes open for those save points.
Okay.
I bump up against every barrel and press X. Do I find anything?
You find several pieces of giant fruit.
Ugh. I keep it.
That might be good, though. It might make the ghosts freak out if we eat it.
That's right.
Or no, that's extra points. We have to eat the glowing ball to make the ghosts freak out, right?
That's right. That's right.
The giant fruit.
Yeah, I'm terribly curious though. Would these goop people do even want with giants? Are they going to try and replace giants? Are they going to leave?
Yes,
with giants?
I think they want domination. It's all
That's a
about
lot of-
absorption into the great central goop.
A lot of goop.
Too much goop, one might say.
Some might say too much.
How much goop is too much goop? This much goop is too much goop. That is the
Yeah,
answer.
we found the answer.
We've already found the answer, and now it's just getting reinforced.
That's right. This is scientific theory.
Okay. So you all walk through town, pulling Marley away from the potion stand, occasionally bumping into barrels to see if anything falls out of them. A shop owner's like, that's still mine.
I walk into someone's house and just start going through their drawers.
Oh, okay.
What? That's going to go over well.
I'm an adventurer.
I'm the hero of the story.
are.
Maybe you heard of me.
Also, I cut all your bushes. You're going to need new ones.
Luckily, I'll walk away 5 feet and they'll just grow back.
Yeah. I expect them by the time I return to the screen.
So you keep walking. Eventually, you get to the Palace of Iscaria. There's this big arching bridge across a bunch of alleys underneath that you can see people walking through. And 2 storm giants stand there, clad in plate armor, armed with spears. Very imposing tall giants, lightning occasionally crackling out of their empty hand, and they stand there, their spears crossed at the gate of the palace.
Are the lightning arcs like flexing? Are they like just like
Kind of like stretching their hands, yeah, they cracking their knuckles, and lightning kind of. It's not like dangerous to you or anything, but it is like, hey, don't forget we can shoot lightning.
It's like right. It's like a move,
Yeah.
right? Now, are they? Is this sort of a thing like that anyone can walk in, like government building, and they just kind of eyeball you, or is it like the door is closed and we have to state our reason for being here?
That one, the door is closed, and
Number
they
2.
will determine if you can go
Right.
in or not.
I turn to I message Hester and Marley in turn, like, who wants to take point on this?
Let's check my charisma score. Not me.
Well, I'm happy to do it, but unless Hester may have Lily might have an angle on this, or you can speak passionately about your mother. If your mother's here and it should ostensibly be no problem to meet up with her, we could play that up. Like if she's here as a welcome guest, you could be, oh, we're here, and I'm happy to be your herald on that behalf. But that's our idea, because you can most feelingly and convincingly. Nothing is more convincing than the truth. Speak to that, right?
Yes, and I'm not complete bullocks at charisma for sort of any attending roles, but you're certainly going to be more aces at it. But let's try a little truth sprinkled with
Do you
With
want
some
to like
assumptions.
send to your mother first to find out if they are like was it a good escort or a bad escort? You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. I did clairvoy on her all the way down, right? But I haven't sent to her since we've been here.
Right, but I think you only saw her land. I don't think you saw anything after that.
Okay.
Yeah. So we don't know if it's like you were escorted because you're invited to the queen, or you're escorted because the queen wants to see you.
If we got ourselves arrested, that's still inside the chamber.
Unless their
Alright.
prison is off site.
Well, if that's where my mother is. How long does it last? Does it say? For the next minute. Okay. I am going to kind of tap my wand of enemy detection to use a charge.
Okay. And
So anything that means me immediate ill within 60 feet.
Knifey lights up. No, that's right.
I've been here the whole time.
I'm a shadow.
The fuck? Oh boy.
I've been here the whole time.
The whole time, miss.
Absolutely not.
Let me just read this real quick.
I've got it in my inventory if it
I searched for it. It'll come right up. Let's see.
I guess I just know the direction of the nearest hostile creature.
Within 60 feet? No one's hostile to you.
Okay, let's see after we have a conversation.
That establishes a further social. That establishes our baseline. No, they're
That's
indifferent. Right.
We now know what 0 is, and we'll see whether or not it raises.
Or we can dig a hole in this floor or not.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would like to hover up a little bit, and if you don't mind having my back if needed, but I am going to just try the earnest truthish. So kind of hover a little bit to make sure that they're seeing me. Yes, hello, oi.
Greetings.
Excellent. They have the multilingual guardsman.
Before you float up, I'm going to touch you and cast guidance. Yeah.
Oh, bless.
No, guidance.
No, guidance.
Oh, shoot. That's right. Bless wouldn't have helped. So yeah, float up a bit, and message or make my voice louder, whichever is more appropriate. And yes, hello there. Our ship just arrived, following the other ship over there, the Winter's Tooth. We are also expected guests. So my mother is in there. Joseph Winters is in there. Of course, we are friends and compatriots of Docking Bay. Not 94 over there. Who even has ever heard of such a thing? That's nonsense.
There is no other Docking Bay. There is only Docking Bay 94. No, the giants will look at each other and then look at you. And they will say, "You are friends of the doomed of Iscaria's hope.
I told you to send
The
her.
Sphere Breaker."
I'm sorry. Could you just contextualize your statements? We've just arrived.
Of course.
Pardon our ignorance. But we mean no offense. If you could clarify your points.
Float down a little bit.
No, not them. Someone else, probably. Yes, the other giant will say, "Yes, the Oracle saw that the Hester of Story Sphere would be the doom of our worlds. We have taken her into custody as a bounty had been placed on her and was turned in by one Captain Joseph Winters."
Well, I hadn't heard that.
How much was the bounty?
The bounty is... there's no monetary value associated with it. It is... You can avail yourself of the services of the Oracle.
And Joseph Winters was after that.
Yes. Most adamant.
Well, what does it take to make an inquiry to this oracle? What is required of a supplicant?
They say only the Queen may declare you worthy. If you complete a great task, or do some other service for her, or many services, she may allow you to use the Oracle.
Message Storm to turn me in. Turn me in. I'm the Hester. You have the real Hester. They have the fake Hester. Hesters are halflings. They have a gnome.
Double Chewbacca defense, right?
The double Chewbacca, yes.
Right. The reverse Chewbacca, the twist, flip.
Yeah.
Right.
I like the Chewbacca twist.
Yeah.
Right.
Turn heel.
That's like
yeah.
the dance craze that should have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Chewbacca twist.
It'll be in the second holiday special.
Or the drink. Summer.
Oh, a nice,
cocktail
refreshing Chewbacca twist.
A Chewbacca twist.
Yeah.
A ginger Chewbacca twist.
It's got a little pulp in it, though. Kind of like
Right.
Chewbacca has a lot of hair.
It's a fibery
You
drink.
bring that out.
Right. It's like the Mersey, the tea from Mersey, Australia, made with koala hair. That you don't use a strainer because the koala tea of Mersey is not strained. Anyway.
That sounds awful.
So
No, it's a pun.
Oh, okay.
It is, yeah. Anybody who knows the Merchant of Venice hates me.
Sorry.
Yeah, even more than they ordinarily would have. Yes. So, well, I don't know who this Joseph Winters is thinking that he's supposed to be, but we here have brought the Hester to be turned in to claim the bounty of seeing the Oracle. For this here is the Hester.
Storm, you turncoat son of a bitch.
Huh?
Marley's kind of looking between the two of them like,
I messaged
what?
Marley real quick.
Yeah, right.
Back it up. You're a bounty hunter. You're a dangerous bounty hunter from the shadow place.
Quick, put on a helmet and speak a weird language.
Yeah. You know what? Just the black Jammer's cutlass do the talking.
Right, yes.
Yeah.
That could be you could just lip sync along with it. You know what he's going to say because it's like in connection, right?
Marley, the Black Jammer's cutlass says, "Yar, you're ruthless, Marley. Getting rid of more of the crew, are we?" She's an obvious threat.
Wizards first.
I've always said wizards first. Now, what about Storm, Marley?
No, be cool. Be cool.
I am cool.
No.
Always have been.
I do my best to act very shocked.
Give me a performance check.
Okay. I'm adding a D4 because I was guided within the last
I
minute.
I will also, if I can give advantage by assisting in the conceit.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Excellent. All right. So that was a 9 plus 3, or a mighty 17 plus 3. So plus 2 plus 3. So that's a 23.
Okay. The storm giants.
Marley, I might actually be confused even after my message is of like, no, I think we're turning on Hester.
And I'll
helping.
I'll put my paws on your arms, like from behind, like upper shoulder.
There you go.
You know, you can do all the struggling, and we can stage combat it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Warminster appears and he has a thermal detonator.
Jatal.
Thermal detonator.
Between Hester in my head and the Black Jammer's cutlass in my head, and all of these conflicting things going on, Marley is very confused.
Yar, don't listen to her, Marley. Yar. Okay. The storm giants seem confused. They say, well, if you are the Hester, we must take you into custody.
No, you'll never take me alive.
I'm pretty sure we will.
You will absolutely take me alive.
Just
this is our prisoner. With respect, we would like to present the Hester to the queen.
they say,
Oh, for the reward, you say.
They
Reward's
say-
all that ever mattered to you.
They say, of course, and you shall be rewarded. And then they reach down and gently pick up Hester, but Hester's not breaking out of a storm giant hand, in their estimation.
Have they become hostile yet, or is all this very...
I mean, yes.
Fine, hostile.
Yes, they are your enemies. They are going to take you to prison.
Okay.
Does that mean they're going to fight you? I mean, only if you fight them. But you're going peacefully, so they have really no reason to fight you.
And yet, they're still Hostile. AGAB. All gods are bastards. It's just power trip.
They're just doing their job. It's
the one who's not talking now is just kind of like suggestively tapping his cudgel, like, okay, buddy.
He turns off his body camera.
Yeah, I said I'm going. Goodness gracious me.
Okay, so you're in the hands of a storm giant, the tender, sweet hands of a storm giant. The other one opens the door.
I ship it.
Is there a mullet in the hairdo?
Guard one.
I was going to say big and small. I don't know if that works, but
Okay. Now, to do a quote here: hands strong enough to crush steel, but gentle enough to crush a butterfly.
that's about Kano from Venture Brothers, right? Is
Yes,
it? Okay.
yes.
Also, the ship name would obviously be Big Brain. I'm just...
Okay. Fair enough.
Brainstorm. Oh wait, we already used that one. Damn it.
Yep. So what was it? Intellect storm, but brainstorm's an actual word.
Yeah.
Because Hester's not very creative.
Okay. So you all start to walk into the castle, and it's really hot in here because it's made of glass. So it's kind of hot, and you see a bunch of people like constantly wiping down the because it's muggy too from the storm.
God.
Are there like tropical plants everywhere?
Yeah, no, it's very
Nice.
lush and
Making
green
the
in here.
most of it.
Yeah, lush and green.
Storm Giant's thunder.
It's a grow house underneath. Yeah.
That's the secret meaning of the name of the module. It's like this killer weed they grow.
Yeah, it's a strain. They know the storm giants. That's why they're such
King's
good
Thunder.
oracles.
Yeah, it's called the Storm Queen's Thunder.
It's the Ordinin, man.
Yeah. God's great. It gets really high.
Yeah, Liz says you all walked into the Rainforest Cafe.
Yes, for sure.
But there are
giant
indeed
pets.
there are giant pets. There are giant parrots flying around because that's terrifying.
Yeah, that is.
Big snake, occasional big snake slithers by. And there are all these exotic creatures that you're like, you live in like the top of the mountains. Like these things are definitely not indigenous. Any person you see is kind of wearing like a loose fitting toga to keep cool. It's very flowy. Sure. Occasional like flowy, Roman and Greek style dresses. And the giants walk with you. Occasionally, people are like looking at you like up and down, like who are the small folk? Let me just deal with them. They all look the same to you. That's their problem.
From up here.
You walk into a large throne room where a muscular storm giant is leaning forward on a throne, presumably the Queen Iscaria. She has a crown on. Standing next to her is a, you would say past his prime storm giant. He's got a little bit of a belly, but he's fully armored. Other than that, it's just kind of his chest plate is a little flappy. And a very, very old, wizened... She's only 20 feet tall instead of 24 feet tall because she's kind of shrinking, hunched over, really, really long white hair, leaning on a staff. Older storm giant woman. And Iscaria booms, "What is it now?"
Greetings, Majesty.
Kind of leans.
I am the legendary.
No. She leans back.
Speak? May I not?
Yeah. No. You may, but she leans back, like interested in what you're about to say. And then when you say legendary, she leans forward a little bit more. But you may continue speaking. Mm-hmm. It's just her physical reactions to you.
Sure. I am the legendary Storm of Stars. Bard, raconteur, adventurer. I here present to you Lily, Hester, the Hester, so deemed a threat by a prophecy of your oracle, I present this Hester to challenge the bounty and respectfully send felicitations to your majesty and your court. This is my companion, Marley, and the aforenamed Hester.
The storm giant
Lily,
open his arm or anything?
Strongheart.
Yeah, the storm giant opens his arm to present you.
You'll never take me alive. Oh.
Kappa!
Sola, what is the meaning of this? The old woman says, "What? Let me see her." Kinda walks up. She takes off her glasses and pulls out like a jeweler's loop. She's like,
Nice.
"Heh."
Don't tell me you were fooled by a counterfeit. Everyone knows that Hesters are halflings, not gnomes. I'm sure we all look the same to you.
Kind of looks
No,
sheepishly
enough.
back at the queen, like, they do look similar. In my
What
defense,
have you done with the other one?
In my defense, they're very small.
It's okay. It's not
That's what the
you
lenses
that
are
should
for.
be embarrassed. It should be Joseph Winters, the one who tried to fool the great Isakara.
That's right. Throw him under the bus. Do it, girl. The queen leans back in her throne and she looks at the captain of the guard and says, "Colfidor, where is the prisoner?" "She was moved to the eye of the storm, ma'am." "Well, then we must do a prison transfer, I suppose. Do you have any other proof that this is the Hester? The doom of the spheres?"
We're kind of new here, so I don't know about Doom or anything, but
Well, and proof certainly is an interesting point. Proof as to whether this is the Hester, without a doubt, this is the Hester. Proof as to whether they are the doom of your sphere, that is a point yet unresolved, and something we can resolve.
I have a mind to be like, I hate spheres. There's one thing I can't stand, it's spheres.
Let me loose, I'll blow it up.
Like you see it, you see a globe on a counter, and you're like, knock it off. You're like,
Yeah.
"Fuck spheres."
She might just be
Two
a cat.
things I can't stand in this flat earth. It's globes and spheres. It's a mockery of God's own.
She's very menacingly Australian.
Don't know when it happened, but
Oh no, it's wanted criminal Bellatrix deranged.
ballistics to range. At your service. Core blimey. But no, for now, I won't turn it up. I've told less is more.
That was the review of every play you were in.
Yes. Specifically, less Lily.
Well, I've just please, I send you a message. I have just posited that the whole thing might be hooey. Come on. Here.
The
very fact that they've had a mistake will reinforce our point, possibly, calling into question the whole affair.
The queen once again looks at the oracle and says, "You are certain." "Never been more certain about anything in my life, except for the mishap from earlier." "Yes, that is why I am questioning things." And the bard brings up a point.
Has detect thoughts on the oracle.
Sure.
Snap.
You hear back, "Hey, get out of here."
Get out of here.
Well played.
Awesome.
I turn it
Get
on.
off my yard.
Turn it on Golfador or Colfador, whatever man-at-arms
Colfador.
name is.
He's just like, "Oh, prisoner transfer. I hate the freaking Eye of the Storm."
Is he imagining any difficulties between here and there?
Yeah, so when he mentions the Eye of the Storm, he pictures like a giant writhing whirlpool, and you can see like it's like starts out here and then it like zooms in, and there's this tiny little island with just a big tower on it, and waves keep like crashing against it. You hear a scream.
Very
Cool.
Attack of the Clones, right?
Cool.
Cool. Huh.
In Queen Iscaria, what's her deal? Is she penetrable at all? And again,
Yeah.
just surface stuff. Is she?
Yes. So it's a lot of. She's just like, I thought we had dealt with this. Like why are my people screwing this up? Like, it's kind of a big deal. It's the apocalypse. I would prefer my best people on the apocalypse. She seems confused and perhaps susceptible to the doubt that is being placed into her mind.
Okay. Is there no trial for this crime that I'm supposed to commit? Can't we get Joseph Winters up here to defend himself? Why he's trading on your fears?
Colfador, get the wormy man. He walks off. The Oracle says, "Oh, we can have a trial, right? yeah. It's my evidence is I see her destroying the spheres in the future." The Queen kind of nods and says, "And your response?"
That's what you have?
The Oracle.
I have no intention to destroy any spheres.
With respect, that's what you have as
The
evidence in the court?
The Oracle's visions have never been incorrect.
Except just recently.
Well, that was
When
her
the
eyesight
vision
more than
was
her
literally.
vision.
Yes, but you've got to walk before you can run. Wouldn't we all agree? I mean, despite the obvious irony of the blind person with second sight, I mean, we've all been down that road, right? So,
yes, Mystique's girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Density.
Yes.
Yep.
Stay on Iscaria there while she says that the Oracle has never been wrong. And if you need me to, or if she needs a save to see if I'm getting more or less here, but she feels she's telling the truth.
I'm engaging her in dialogue, hopefully to stir some associations up in her brain for you to see, right?
I am trying to get a read on whether or not the old lady's trying her own scam, or this is an established pattern. And oh shit, I know enough about divination. Am I going to destroy these spheres? Is my mother going to destroy these spheres?
So
is it like the Heisenberg principle?
Right.
Yeah, the answer is complicated. Because from Iscaria's point of view, the Oracle has never been wrong because they've always prevented these crimes from happening.
Sure.
So, from her point of view, yes, she's always right. When we lock those people up, the things she said would happen don't happen.
But then wouldn't she be wrong 100% of the time because it's happening?
That's not how she sees it.
The real Minority Report situation.
Not sure that's how precognition works. With respect, I'm no divination wizard, but I happen to know one.
But yeah, the other thing is clearly Iscaria and the Oracle believe in predestination, but that it can also be subverted.
Yeah,
Look, it's
No,
it's
that's-
kind of like a
that guy-
traditional system, and it doesn't work well.
yeah.
They're the adversaries. They don't have.
Their
Well,
ideology does not have to be sound. Understood.
I look forward to taking your case, Lily.
And now you would defend me when first you would betray me. I accept, of course.
State appointed
Yes.
lawyer. Yeah, we appoint the bounty hunter to be the lawyer. It's a good system. It makes
It
sense.
ensures neutrality. I bring them in to try their case.
And now finally we're getting our Phoenix Wright session that we have long been promised.
So you can. What would you like to do? How would you like to kind of? Joseph Winters hasn't returned yet, but will shortly, presumably.
Well, I'm not sure if it's just we start talking or if there's some formal whatnot has to
Okay.
commence with peers or I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So
Iscaria says present your case, and that's kind of it. Like, present your case.
great. Well, I mean, your evidence is, with all due respect, if I may speak frankly, in the court. Again, with all due respect to all of those present, your evidence is less than flimsy.
You're less than flimsy.
You
Sorry.
have no proof. I am less than flimsy. I pride myself on it.
That didn't
But that's
work.
just my physical form. My argument, I would say, is anything but. I mean, your argument. I mean, the only proof I have of the veracity of your foreknowledge is scant. At best, you have the wrong person. You took at face value, literal face value. You didn't even get a good look at the face. I challenge the whole notion of, well, what is this prophecy? What is supposed to happen? Please, with all due respect, make it known. The accused should understand what they're being accused of.
Sala.
Otherwise, it's just a very convenient way to get rid of someone or to build yourself up in power. How long have you been doing this? Making accusations that are baseless.
Baseless. The storm giants have ruled this sphere, except for a brief period where things got weird, for millennia.
Oh, I'm not speaking of the storm giant rulership. I'm speaking of the oracles. This oracle.
She says, we have always followed the guidance of the oracles. Sala, he brings up a fair point. Prove it to him. She said, I don't have to prove anything, but I'll do it. I'll do it.
I detect thoughts on the guards, by the way. Are they
sure.
like... Are they just in quiet awe? Is anyone just kind of like... Is anyone giving away your greater mystery here? Is anyone like... actually, the Oracle has been acting funny ever since St. Smithens Day. Or actually, she's wrong all the time.
No. The word of the oracle is truth to them.
Okay. All right. So no one's giving that part up, at least.
No.
But what are the proofs?
She walks away, comes back briefly. The captain of the guard, Kulfador, comes back in with Joseph Winters, and he says, "Oh, we're back in here. I see. Oh, you." Kind of huffs. The old woman, the old oracle, shuffles back in. And she's holding a large crystal ball. And...
Fears my ancient enemy.
I see.
Oh, no.
Once again. Confronted by their horrible roundness. She holds the sphere in one hand. Her eyes go milky white. She raises her other, and all of the candles and light spells in the room turn off, and she gently pushes the sphere into the air, and it projects an image onto the to the ceiling. And the image is it's like very brief. It's like 5 seconds, basically. But it is of Hester snapping her fingers, and then there just being a bright white flash. And then after that, it kind of fades and cuts to this castle ruined, and then does quick shots of every other planet similarly decimated.
And when you say Hester, you mean me.
Yes.
Okay.
Does Hester look like at the age she is now, or does she look older? Does she look...
She looks like the age she is now.
Haven't got a wish spell up your sleeve, dear. Do you have it?
Storm.
Yes.
Do we want to introduce the fact that Joseph Winters could literally look like Hester?
Yes, I'm about to do something about that. So what's Joey got on? What's he wearing?
He's wearing, he's wearing a blue vest with like a red kind of unitard underneath, and a big 70s pants, and a kind of a sash and around his head and waist. Big mustache. I think I've described him as blonde as opposed to a brunette. Big thick mustache, sure. Big glorious mullet. It up. Yeah, he's intellectually distinct. He has a firebird on his chest. Hair.
Yeah,
I love it.
No, it's on the back of his vest, like he's in some biker gang.
Well, I would like to say that's very compelling evidence, but you can't always believe what you see. And I will say, and who's Joey standing next to?
Golfador there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, next to Golfador. Sorry, I was answering a question, or responding to something in chat.
Golfador, please. And I escort, if you could just stand over here, just for a moment. I'm going to make a point. And I'm going to say, Joseph, if you could please give me a Constitution saving throw, DC 17, I'd appreciate it.
What? He says,
so
what?
I blast him with a 6th level, all right, with Cone of Cold.
He will fail.
Great. So, freeze him up. What's the damage on that?
I thought you were just going to suggest that he change form or something, I guess this...
Yeah, I think you were going to moonbeam or something, and I was like, Storm doesn't have that spell.
I don't have that. That would be great, but I don't have that spell. So it's 8d8. 32 cold.
Okay. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, Lee's thought it would be Zone of Truth. Oh, that would have been good too.
Yeah, I don't have that spell.
Let's see if Blue's good. Yeah, Moonbeam's more a Druid spell anyway. I don't even know if Bards can get
it.
But...
I could get it.
That's true. You can get whatever you want. Let's see.
I just don't have it.
I think I've described him as... Oh, is he not in this book? Boo. Need the monster manual. Yep. 32 knocks Joseph Winters past his pathetic 16 hit points.
Oh. Okay. So does he turn into a goopy bubbly goop?
Yeah, going past their double their max doesn't kill these things because they have like it's complicated. But yeah,
Right.
So you freeze him solid, and he kind of falls over cracks, and in his place oozes onto the floor this gross iridescent little clear bug thing.
Yes.
And Iskaria says, "Explain now."
This is not Joseph Winters. This is a shapeshifter. Part of a whole group of shapeshifters. A civilization of invaders that are trying to subsume the identities of anybody. They can appear, as in look like, anyone and secretly be someone else. They infiltrated our own crew. We had to root them out, and we discovered the original Joseph Winters, who is actually back in our ship. And this imposter who apprehended the mother of this Lily Hester, Strongheart. So all of this is suspect. I think we need to go deeper with this investigation into this vision. It's not our friend. I assure you. They don't have that kind of power, and they don't have that kind of intent. You can freely, I open my mind to you. Examine me with whatever means that you have. I speak the truth, and I submit myself to your scrutiny with all defensiveness taken away. And I like open my leather doublet, bare my furry chest, and take off my hat, and I bow. I lower my head to the queen.
She sits up, and she says, "Sala, see to this now. Kolfdor, find the other members of the crew, and then check in with the Eye of the Storm now." She says, "I thank you for your honesty, and I apologize for accusing your friend when clearly we do not have the whole story."
Your liege, if I may speak, these creatures, they steal bodies and likenesses and even thoughts and memories and abilities. If you don't mind, or if one of your revenue oracle has the capability, you might want to make sure that Golfador is Golfador before sending him after these shapeshifters, which might take his body. They might have taken it already. And if Golfador is, in fact, himself, then perhaps you should send multiple guards to go retrieve those small folk. In great enough number, they might be able to replace one of your own, would be my concern. I say this in all sincerity, and would offer to help if you would accept it, to confirm Golfador, but I don't know the man. So
she looks past you all and says, "Ren, fetch my helm."
Helm fetching mood.
He bows. It's one of the guards who brought you in, bows, and quickly walks off and says, "Kolfador, stay a moment." He kind of looks annoyed at you, not at the queen, because he would never be annoyed at the queen. But like, how dare you? You just got here. I'm real.
That's what they all say.
Yes.
Marley,
Now
be the time to strike. When everybody's distracted.
Oh, that's at the cutlass.
The ship be yours, Marley.
Strike it.
Storm's
What?
even kneeling down with his head bent.
It's look at
Chop
him.
his head off.
It's a coup de grace waiting to happen, Marley.
You know,
You can be giant-sized once again, Marley. They're stopping you.
we can just grab a potion on the way out. You know, this is the type of behavior that I was talking about, that we keep greater restoration on hand for.
Marley.
Time to chill it.
Marley, it's me.
I mean, it is on brand for you, but I'm just saying.
Yar.
I'm already the captain. Like, we can chill it on, like, the mutinies and the coup de grace and...
I'll back off a bit, Marley.
Yeah, just, like, anytime that you're getting that instinct for, like, we should take over, you should, like, think about it, like, a second more.
And think about how it's a good idea.
Maybe write it down in, like, a
You're
journal.
You're clearly Captain Material. I don't have hands, Marley. I am a sword. Speak all languages, though.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Dope.
Okay. The Ren comes back with this incredible looking helm that has that it seems like it's clearly made of like mithril, and it's got all of this like beautiful etching into it. It almost looks like it's stitched. Like it's so intricate. And she takes it from Ren, puts it on, and then she looks at Kolfador and says, "Kneel for your queen." He does, and then she casts a moonbeam at him.
There's that moonbeam again.
And he sits there
I gotta take moonbeam.
He sits there and he burns, and he does not turn into a shapeshifter. She stops, and she says, "As always, Kolfador, thank you for your loyal service." And he nods and says, "My queen."
Apologies, Kolfador. It's just that it was the cost of being sure. I hope there is no bad blood between you and I. I'm just going to float gently away.
Andy, is there any sense that like him taking the damage and not getting healed is like on brand, rather than him taking this from his queen and not taking any healing afterwards, like bearing the brand of her scrutiny? Or would it be okay for me to heal him?
Oh, you could totally heal him. You don't think that would be any kind of dishonor or anything like that?
Insult, okay.
Yeah.
So, I will say, you are a noble servant of your queen, and I applaud the example you set, and I would like to alleviate your wounds, and I, if I may, with your permission, and I will go to touch him with my paw and cast Cure Wounds. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and whatever damage he took. How much did he take?
She only casted it its lowest level. Let's see.
So, Cure Wounds at its lowest level?
Yeah, that would probably be
or
fine. Let's see. Moonbeam.
Or maybe 2.
2d8 maybe? Let's see.
Yeah, so I'll do second level.
2d10.
Cure Wounds.
Okay, yeah. First level might do it, but second level almost certainly will.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's 14 points for him?
Yep. Heals him to full. Okay. He nods as you're approaching him and asking him these questions. He nods very slightly, and then you heal him, and he nods more deeply, and he says, "Thank you, brave warrior." And he stands and goes about his task. The queen says, "We must make sure there are no other shape changers."
I will offer. I'll say I will submit to your scrutiny.
As will I. Think it's only fair.
Yep.
Well, I don't have a lot of these. Huddle up.
Can't you move it? Isn't this concentration for a minute?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll,
Yeah, no.
I'll step into the damn beam.
Yeah,
and I will
She's got
kind of
it up. It
insist.
should be up for him. Yeah.
it's up for a minute. So she's kind of like holding it above everyone. Okay.
I would like to
just gonna
dramatically
drag.
insist that no one should go alone in these halls while these strangers are still here.
Right.
Let alone yourself, Queen. Let alone that gnome you put in prison. They should probably be freed and brought
Yeah.
to company.
I already
totes.
said it was your mother.
No use confusing them any further.
Honesty.
But yeah, I'll take a second level moonbeam's worth of damage if it proves my innocence.
Okay, yeah. So if you're gonna willingly fail or something.
I'd like to.
No, yeah, okay.
if
So
I can.
everybody make con saves if you would like to do this. Yeah, she's just going to drag
Unless
it.
is failing part of having your natural form reverted? It's not, right? You just that happens anyway.
You I think that's
If it
happens
fails,
no matter what.
Only
if it fails?
Really? Yeah. But Shapeshifter also make it with disadvantage. So I don't know. It's up to you all.
I just rolled really great. No,
that's fine. I'll take the damage.
Yeah, give me a damage. I'll fail it. Like a bank of 19 for literally anything else.
Okay, so it's only going to be 5 damage if you take it.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yep.
Marty, quick. First change into a bear. Then
Changer!
into a Marley.
It's like when the thing gets hit and it starts cycling through all of its previous faces.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if I can change into like any animal, but then it's like, oh, it reverts you back to your normal.
Right.
Okay, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she starts dragging it. None of the giants in here fail. And she does say, fair is fair. And she drags it over herself as well. Then she...
That would have been a twist.
Yeah. Also, now you're all locked in the room with me.
Yeah.
I am the central group.
And then she changes into a blue dragon.
All ye gaze upon me and despair.
Kate Blanchett comes in to play the central group.
For sure.
Even though we know who should be playing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
The second season...
Women who do or don't know if they're in spiders, men.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So the Oracle is a little shaken because her fortune, her prediction, while she interpreted it correctly, she interpreted it incorrectly.
Okay.
And that's kind of, and she says that she tenders her resignation immediately.
Gasp.
And the queen says, we'll talk about this later. No, I'm going to jump off a cliff. I'm old and useless.
Right, solid.
Don't even look at me.
Skip prescription glass.
I'm not with you. How dare you?
Eyes of the Eagle.
I'll maybe get
down the market.
Yeah, I'll maybe get a second jeweler's loop, but that's it.
Maybe get like a set of cheaters.
Wow. I won't even acknowledge you said that.
Thanks.
Marley. Yar. Is Oracle better than Captain?
I don't think so, because
Good.
like captains could probably order like an. Did you want me to take her job?
Well, if only if it was better than Captain.
But I can't divine anything. That's like the base requirement for an oracle.
Yeah, I messaged Hester. Job opening.
Yar.
Did
Marley,
a real twist.
I may not know what an Oracle be. You know, you can marry people now legally.
That's true. That's a lot of power.
It's a good scam.
That's what probably brought him to his demise in his fleshly form, right? Being efficient.
Plus, if I were an oracle here, I couldn't spell jam. And isn't your whole deal that you want to spell jam?
Well, Yar, you could give me back to your dad. Just as a hypothetical. You're great, too.
I'm pretty sure he's going back to the Shadowfell after,
Unless I get me hands on him. But as established, I don't have hands.
So little chance of that is good news.
He says, I'll be quiet for a while.
I mean, isn't captain, good enough, Cause then I'm captain of a spell jamming ship. Isn't that, your whole deal?
Oh, Marley, it's great. But, you can always be an admiral. I want what's best for you, Marley.
It's just the beginning. It's
pretty sure I'd have to join that, elf brigade that's out there or something to become an admiral.
Could be a privateer. I mean, that's probably more on brand anyway. Operating outside not necessarily pirates, but independent scoundrel types.
Maybe
we happen to have an Alvar who's experienced.
I was going to say, pretty sure we're already kind of that.
Yeah, true.
Get Giant sponsored here. And...
Yeah, you want to find a you want to find a place that's already inhabited? I'll pay for it.
Tell me there's gold there and there's no end of money I'll throw at it.
Better bring back some tobacco. Okay. So the captain of the guard went to go fetch the remaining crew of the Winter's Tooth. That shouldn't be in quotes. It is the ship, but and
too.
Presumably to free Hester from this whirlwind prison storm. Okay. Is there anything you all would like to do in the slight downtime? Otherwise, the Queen is sending guards in pairs to investigate other stuff and kind of try and figure out people who are acting oddly or in unaccordance with the Queen and her queenness. I don't remember words anymore. It's a problem lately, but
just use the made up word for it, ordning. No, I guess I'm terribly curious what it takes to be a full-time oracle, but I don't know that this is the time. She's feeling rather poorly about herself.
Didn't they cover that when you went to college? Wasn't there a business class about entry-level kind of...
About sussing out the patterns of fate, yes, but it was all kind of very cynical.
Right.
It's all very, seven crows flying north. Well, of course it's going to rain. It was all drained of any mysticism. It was a real midichlorian situation.
Right. The business side of divination.
Yes. But here is a true believer. She's got a magic sphere that projects my face on the ceiling. That's fantastic.
It's just what you've always wanted.
Well, yeah. Bit of vanity, perhaps, yes.
Right.
Hester, you think
role model for you.
If you tried to interact with the oracle sphere, the prophecy, you might be able to do something to it. It is the future in a crystal form. You like the future.
I do meddle with the future.
It's got a prompt for you to touch it and interact.
Don't you have a 19 in your bank?
Yes. Even though I am a stock diviner, I do like to play into the fiction that Hester is especially touched. That's all the luckies and the luckiness and all the other things I do to hate dice.
Who needs dice in their Dungeons and Dragons?
That's right. When you can just tell your DM what things are and aren't.
You're just playing D&D with a spreadsheet over there.
I get since Since this is taking a bit, how about I just go ahead and ritually cast Detect Magic? I would like to detect the type of magic of her sphere before I go snapping my fingers at it, for instance.
Yeah, it is divination magic.
Okay.
Yeah, the last time you put your hands on a weird magic item, you
what's with
disappeared into another world. So
Yeah, what's with these giants and their dodgy spheres?
Yeah.
They have sphere addiction is the opioid crisis of the ordning.
Yes. And while I'm detecting magic, what does the helm register as? Just like as a legendary magic item kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a legendary magic item, so it's
got a bunch of schools.
Yeah, it's got...
Is she removing gems and doing anything? Is it one of those?
No, you can kind of... Occasionally when she turns her head, you can see one of the engraved... There's an engraved moon that is glowing. So maybe all of the engravings do something, and the helm is covered in them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you detect like, evocation, illusion, necromancy. It's basically got every school of magic on there.
Okay. Remind me, in 5th edition, is healing largely evocation or is it necromancy?
Both.
Both. Okay.
It's like, I think Cure Wounds is an evocation spell.
But like a resurrect is a necromancy or something.
Probably,
like that.
Yeah. Cure.
It's something like that. I know that switch between editions, and I'm occasionally confused by it. But
I wish it would just have its own school, even.
Yeah.
Cure Wounds is evocation.
Okay.
Revivify.
Necro.
Yeah, that's got to be.
Just wondering if it necromancy, as we all know, enchant is the truest evil
necromancy.
magic school.
But I think if... Yeah, I think as long as it's not damaging something else or bringing you back from the dead, it's typically evocation. But, vampiric touch is obviously necromancy.
Right, yes. Though it has a healing component. I despite myself, I just continue to look and study the sphere. Do I know anything like it? I mean, other than crystal balls and shit. They're usually props, though. They're stage props by charlatans.
Give me an Arcana check.
Glad to do it. Boo. No. I don't roll 2s. Hold on. I'll burn a lucky on it.
Okay.
Wow, especially because I'm looking at the 18. I really thought that was better than that. Okay. Nope. Since that's 2 2s in a row, I'm just going to go ahead and presume that Hester's no good at actual divination if it doesn't come from A, being profoundly out of the womb lucky, or a bunch of nonsense in books.
So yeah, you just asked about the crystal ball, so... So yeah, you might just think it's a prop for... You don't use a crystal ball, you use a wand, so...
Yes.
Obviously a real magic thing.
A scientist's weapon.
You can also use it as a pointer in lectures.
That's right. It serves many... It is multifaceted in its uses. Now I'm annoyed that I can't tell the thing, but I've already detected that it's some kind of divination, which only makes sense.
Yeah. Well, you're still just looking at it. If you touch it or something else might happen. You might have learned that if you did better on your Arcana check, but
maybe
you can still attempt to interact with it if you want.
I think that might make everyone a bit nervous yet. Let's, to the very least,
she's doing it. She's ending the sphere.
More chaos. Yeah, I mean, look, it's important to not play into any religious prophecies.
Yeah, keep your hands folded in your lap. Basically.
Yeah.
Don't snap ever. We're in the restaurant, and you don't ever forget the waiter's attendant. No, like
It's
You
rude
know, someone's
anyway,
playing
so yeah.
Mac the Knife next door. It's
Absolutely.
impossible. It's got such a Rat Pack swagger.
no.
Oh, no, that's not a big word. Okay. Okay. So eventually, people start coming back. The guards say they can't find any of the other crew members in the castle, but they have the ship, and it's locked down. Iscaria does not seem thrilled about that, since that means they're either in the castle or city. Mm-hmm. So she kind of grumbles for a bit. And after what feels like far too long, Kolfador returns with Hester. And kind of ushers her in. She, looking around very quickly, rushes to her daughter's side.
Yes, please.
And quickly kind of takes her hand, squeezes it, and says, how bad is it?
I message her, and I say, it's going to get a little worse for a second. And I say, Majesty, please give her the proof test.
Oh, boy. Yeah, and she
Just
says...
so we all know.
Yes. She says, of course, Storm of Stars. And she once again points. Hester is illuminated, takes a couple points of damage, and she kind of nods like, yes, shapeshifters, of course. She kind of does a little flourish bow curtsy thing. Clearly she doesn't quite know what to do. She's from the country.
Yeah, look, but...
I will heal her, too.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Same thing. I'll burn another second level. So, yeah.
Down here, we're not about putting on airs. That you can't stick up your derrieres.
Give her 10 back.
Okay.
Is that going to help?
Yeah, that heals her to full. She took 10 damage.
Okay, good.
So,
great. For two of us.
Your Majesty, these cretins, now that they've escaped your immediate hold, could be anywhere, could be anyone. That simply can't be stressed enough. Short of arming your entire force with these helms, there's simply no way of being sure, especially if they, escaped amongst your small folk populations. I imagine you don't have quite the handle on them. I can simply...
She says, the small folk will learn their place.
All right. They don't know what an ordning is. But yes, absolutely. Should they wish to continue to exist by your grace, I absolutely will insist to anyone I meet that they should fall in line. But we do offer our services in helping to rid you of this scourge. We have quite a deep invested interest in their destruction or imprisonment, whichever you should prefer. It is your realm.
She says, yes, you seem intimately familiar with this scourge. If you wish to stay and help, I can give you quarters and whatever else you might need. But
thank you.
If you wish to go, I understand. And it's less small folk for the changelings to hide amongst.
Well, our ship is under repair, but we did intend to turn around quite quickly.
Unless you know of any shadow.
Say that again. Sorry.
Unless you know of any Shadowfell crossing nearby.
She says, yes. There is one on the planet of the Titans, though I do not recommend going there.
Any other nearby that you would recommend going to?
Sala, are there other shadow crossings? She thinks for a moment. She closes her eyes, and they once again go milky white. Lightning crackles off the top of her staff. And she says, yes. There's one on the planet of the stone giants. Less dangerous than the Titans, though still not the most welcoming place. As it is on the surface, it is a place where stone giants massacred the visitors from another realm, the poisonous visions, the humans that lived there.
Oh. Stone giants, we've all been there.
Humans, we've all been there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for real. Actually, yeah, we're in pretty safe company. I know. Let's see. Well, which is closer? I'm guessing the Titans planet is closer.
The Titans planet is closer, but arguably way more dangerous.
Sure.
I mean, storm giants are CR 13. Titans are like CR 20 plus, and they're all different.
Just a couple solars, it's fine.
Megara the Dawn Titan.
It's like,
Yeah.
Hey, you survived that once.
I did survive that once. Absorb elements, it's a hell of a drug. So, I see and respect Her Grace's wisdom that perhaps having less small folk would help sort this out, especially since there are several that will be very misleading as they will look very similar. If you would see fit to give us control of the Winter's Tooth, we could send that off in a separate direction and either wait for our ships to repair, or if we could find ferry to the Stone Giant world, we have more immediate concerns there. And then we shall return and either help you finish off, or if you have reached nothing but dead ends, we might be able to once again pitch in our efforts, knowing that it would not be that we would not profit from lying to you.
Oh, that's not right. Hold on a second. Sorry. She thinks for a moment. She says, yes, you can take the ship. It will be one less thing for us to safeguard, and one less way for these shapeshifters to get off world. If you wish to secure passage to another planet, there is a giant ship you might take, or that you might hire, or we
just call it ship.
Or there is a small folk-sized ship that ferries others to other parts of the sphere, piloted by a Gorgon. Yeah.
Okay, like the big steel
No,
balls.
sorry, Medusa. Pollinated by a Medusa.
Okay.
I did think, I was like, wait a minute, no. In D&D, they're
Yeah, no.
Medusas.
That's what I pictured first, but then
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, in D&D,
Yeah,
going into
Gorgons
something
are
very silly.
weird robot bulls. Or demon
Metal
bulls
bulls,
trapped in
yeah.
robot
Yeah.
suits or something. I can't remember. But yeah, no, Medusa. By a Medusa.
That sounds too intriguing to me to turn down. So, yes, if you don't mind, let us get our affairs in order. We would welcome any of your retinue that would seek to escort us to make sure that we are operating in daylight, shall we say, or moonlight, if you prefer. And as far as ships, I prefer, I for one am shipping Iscarfador. I think you guys are cute. Unless we're an Iscola person, which is, yeah, I'm into it. Again, Mystique, Destiny, like it.
How about Storm of Iskars?
Ooh, look.
It works on
All you need is a
levels.
potion.
That's right.
Yeah, right. Just need some potion, you know.
Don't worry, baby. I've got a potion of regular size.
If you remain regular size for more than 4 hours, please see your pharmacist.
Regular size. It somehow seems less formidable in the romantic
Yeah.
environment. Taking a potion of average.
Yeah. Yes, it's excellent. That way we can turn loose the Winter's Tooth. Do we still want to put the interns on it and send them back to Hero Space? Do we still think there's
going?
Yeah, to
Oh,
go
to blow up Tensor spot?
Right.
track down fake Tensor and then follow through to
That's a great
the
idea.
cat village. And then we'll take care of the shadow crossing, go hopefully sort your mother, come back here, and again, we'll see if we actually just solved Andy's Storm Giant puzzle or if there was more to do here. And if not, we'll recollect the Dragonfly and fuck off.
When you said sort your mother, it made me think of the colloquialism, Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
And then sort your mother.
And sort your mother, and it's all checked out.
And we're all done.
Should we maybe
sort your mother? You know.
Should we maybe like emphasize to Iskara that like maybe don't let people travel like in and out of the city, like maybe try and root out
It's just
these
kind of lockdown.
Yeah.
We can certainly make suggestions.
Just because like maybe we can sell it as like we're very close to like eradicating them as far as we know. So if they're able to escape and get out, they could be a future scourge to her.
If they get a foothold
sphere.
anywhere, they've got to be nipped right in the bud.
You've got a real opportunity to nip this right in the bud.
Yeah. If only you respond quickly, and for instance, insist on mask use, and restrict travel. You will have to pay people to stay home. You can't just recommend it. It will have to actually be a concerted...
If you give them a pound of what is it, shrimp? Crawdads? Someplace in Louisiana's giving a pound of shrimp to vaccinated people.
Oh, Ohio's doing a lottery for a chance to win $1 million every Wednesday if you are vaccinated.
That sounds
That's a great idea.
All of these are fantastic ideas, Iscaria. Instead of trusting people to do the right thing simply by being better people. So
instead of the incentive of you can go out and do things.
Then I can probably go out and do things before that if I decide to.
Them. It's not
Yeah.
stopping them.
Dan would like to remind you, Marty, no politics in D&D.
Oh, no. Shudder the thought. So, yeah, with that plan in mind, and again, I trust her to be able to tyrannically rule her people, but yes, we could absolutely insist that...
Queen, not a tyrant. She's a queen. Just a regular old queen, ruling by divine fiat, and the fact that she's the biggest storm giant.
Yep.
It's a solid system. Makes more sense than the Electoral College.
Everyone has to listen to me because my goddad said so. Is that what your ordering is?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The way you say it makes it sound normal.
Nope. Having a real regular one on Giant Hill. Don't worry about it.
No, it's regular sized hill.
I'm sorry. It's just Hill.
Titan is how they say giant.
Yes. Yes.
Titanic still translates.
Yeah. Colossal's a compliment, and then Titan. That means big. Yeah, so to fast forward a little bit, we kind of do that part, if you don't mind.
Okay,
we'll kind of take care of the accounting of NPCs off stream, or you'll have to have a second index card.
I can rewrite the first one and just have like a line down the middle or something.
Yes. But so we'll mostly return the original crew of the Winter's Tooth and the interns to travel back to Hero Space.
Yeah.
My mother, I would recommend stay with us in this case.
Yes, I agree.
And we will take us and our original crew.
She agrees, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Alvar and Warminster and God save us, Knifey, can stay with the Dragonfly to make sure it's being...
That is his full name, right? God save us, Knifey.
God save us, Knifey. We need someone, of course, to continue to translate for Alvar and Warminster.
They said,
and yes, we will ferry with the Medusa for preference, but I don't. Well, yes, I very much prefer the regular sized people boat, and even that's tall for me, but I prefer it to the carnival mirror universe that is everything around here.
Yeah, I'm cool with the Medusa boat.
Okay. So.
That sounds dope.
You all head down to the docks. The queen says she will take everything into consideration. She's going to do the best she can to squash this out, and hopefully by the time you return, they will have 5 dead shapeshifters. I think that's how many there are.
The dwarf. Are the elves history and
yeah, they're on there too.
Clerical.
And then if you count Joseph Winters, he would be 5.
Yeah, they eradicated him.
Honeybee? No, she's in.
No, Honeybee is on assignment.
It's very satisfying freezing him.
Yes.
I consider it as a possible rehearsal.
Just shove him overboard one day. Well, Marley.
It was very cathartic, would you say?
Yes, it was.
Good.
It's a real
Very
shame
good.
that this stream's over.
I have to start walking and never come back.
The Black Jammer's Cutlass says, "Yar, Marley. Mm-hmm. Storm's got the right idea of it. If you kill Joseph Winters, then you'll be captain of the Winter's Tooth, too." I'm just putting it out there, Marley.
I'm pretty sure that he is taking orders from us.
There are no bad ideas, Marley. I'm just saying.
I don't think that I can just, kill him.
I'm going to put it on your vision board, Marley. Just moving some stuff around. No, that's right. I don't have hands.
That's why it's a vision board.
Yeah.
It's in your mind.
Storm's got the right of it, Marley. I'll fix it. Okay.
I've been really mutiny thirsty since the mutiny.
I got a taste for it, Marley. Okay. So you head down to the docks, and you indeed see this woman.
Ooh, I love her.
Yeah.
Leaning against a very sleek-looking Spelljammer ship. It's got like it's kind of, you know, a traditional ship boat bottom, a ship hull. Sorry, I meant to say bottom the first time. A ship hull. It has no mast or sails or anything like that. It's got like these two big kind of glowing like electric turbines on the side, but they're like enclosed, like basically big canisters full of lightning. And she looks at you all as you're approaching, and she simply says, "Where to?"
Don't know that we got the name of it, but Estonia. Suppose,
Yeah, hold on. Let's see. It's just their name in Giant usually. Stone Giant. And by usually I mean it is because I made it up.
Sure.
No, I don't want D&D Beyond. I want the wiki.
Whatever.
Here we go.
Whatever. Jotun.
Yeah. Oh, Steinjolten. I'm sorry, Steinjolten.
Okay.
Because stone giants are really not mellow. I don't know.
That's right. Steinjolten, man. You know what I mean?
Just
Everybody must get steined.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody must get steined.
Man, I love this album.
If you listen to it backwards, it's even better, man.
Yeah.
Yo, do you got like a day and a half to hear me talk about Rush?
Hold on, let me play the best of Fish. It's 2 seconds long. Fish joke. That's fine. People who like Fish, please don't come at me. Please. I don't have time. You like what you like, and I'm perfectly fine with it.
And similarly, Rush heads, I get it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, so so she says where to. You respond. She nods, and she just kind of points onto the ship, and she says, "Find your own space."
So
There's
does she
plenty
seem
of room.
depressed?
No, she seems cool. Like she's trying to be cool, but also that she is effortlessly very cool.
Yeah.
And she's dressed like a really cool captain. I'm really.
Yeah.
See, you're thinking about this, Marley.
Marley. Yar, Marley. Why don't you give the sword to her, Marley? You're great. But
I could.
you could be that cool, Marley? I'd like to see.
I could be that cool.
Marley.
That sword is lucky I can't hear it. We'll not have a talk about my friends this way.
She's got kind of like the stone-colored skin, black accents look. I've got that going too.
True.
Marley.
I just don't have a cool captain's coat yet. Okay.
Well, let's
Yeah,
get you
I'm
a cool
getting-
captain's coat, Marley.
I mean, she's got the striped pants. She's got the cool captain's coat. I mean, that's.
The high boots.
These are all things anyone
Each
can
one that
buy.
as tall as me.
Marley. Anyone can buy this stuff. Meaning,
Yeah,
Don't worry
should
about
I ask her where? I can't ask her where she got it, right? Because that's not cool.
No, I this is awakening feelings in me that I have not had since sophomore
find
year.
your
Yeah,
own style.
I remember this one girl just came in like confidence of a junior. You know what I mean? Just whew.
Yeah, you just pretend like you know what you're doing in college, and people get it.
Yeah. And yes, all aboard, all aboard. Are we waiting for more?
No,
charters?
yeah,
Just-
yeah. She walks up the plank. The plank just folds up behind her, and she says,
cool.
Of course, it
"We'll
does.
be on our way then."
Yeah. Yeah.
What's her crew like?
She has no crew.
I know.
She doesn't need a
You're gonna
crew.
Say that.
Oh my God, her only friends the road. Are you fucking kidding me? Absolutely.
And we'll pick up there next time.
Reference the road in a CB
What's her
radio.
name?
She has not told you her name yet. Would you like to
That is
ask her?
true.
No, don't
I
ask
would-
her name.
What? I'm sorry. I don't have to pretend. Hello, I am the legendary Storm of Stars. Pray, Captain, what is your name?
She says her name is... Oh, come on, lady. Really? Well, that's a bad
She has
idea.
no name.
No. Her name is Vraska.
Wait a second.
Vraska.
Yes, correct.
Wait a second.
What's up?
Soup knows that name. Marley doesn't know that name. Soup knows that name.
I don't.
Sound familiar.
Soup absolutely knows that name.
Soup
But if
probably
there's a
knows that
meaning
name.
like
I
that.
don't know if Marty or Timothy would.
I don't.
It's a magic
I don't.
thing.
It's a magic.
Okay,
Yeah, I
yes, it
figured.
is.
Well, right,
I didn't
'cause they
know
have
that
the
she had a
Med-
cool
they have the
pirate outfit, though. Where did
They
that
have
come
the
from?
Medusa folk, right?
Yeah, she's actually from Ravnica, but the pirate outfit is not from Ravnica.
No,
we'll
where
t-
is that pirate outfit from?
It's from Ixalan,
Oh, God.
which was the cool pirate. It was the cool like conquistador plane where there were vampire
like
pirates
those,
and stuff.
Vampires.
Isn't that the one with dinosaurs or something?
It is the one with dinosaurs. Hold on, you actually got an adventure. I think we got an
I had it.
adventure.
Yeah, I
for
almost
it
certainly have it. I never looked through it.
somewhere from PAX a couple years ago. Hold on.
Yeah,
Vraska's so cool. She's so cool.
it's a free handout with something. There it is. Yes.
Yeah, it had like pirates and stuff in it. Anyway, yeah, Ixalan was neat.
Man, they had to go and make her even cooler by giving her a sick pirate outfit. Ugh.
Yeah, I saw that art and I was like, well, she has to be in something now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well met, Vraska.
I'm glad I asked.
Yeah.
She nods and she says,
You're glad you vrasked.
I'm just going to end the episode. So,
Right.
Probably what I did.
No outros or plugs.
Sure, she has probably a room full of statues of people who've made
Yeah.
that exact.
yes.
Who
Uh-huh.
vrasked the wrong questions.
Never,
Who are like this.
never heard that one before.
And she's like turning them into stone, laughing at themselves.
100% of it, they're all like, and they deserved it too.
She's like unseen servant, like brings out a dolly and wheels it.
Yeah.
up. Like,
100%. Very good.
gallery of douche novels.
And to, I know we keep adding and one more thing, but is my mother with us or is she with Alvar and gang?
I assumed she would stick with you just for safety from now on.
I would
but
prefer that. Yes.
For a while, at least. But yeah.
Yeah. Right now we keep having to play move the Hesters, and yes, the less we're separated from now on, the better.
Okay, yeah. So, speaking of outros and plugs. Timothy.
Hi, I'm Timothy. Thanks for tuning in. We have a lot of fun here at Laughing Dragon Inn. We laugh. Sometimes we laugh at dragons. And sometimes we're in an inn. I don't know that we've ever had an actual Laughing Dragon Inn scenario where all three things have combined. But I don't know that we haven't. It's just perhaps a notion to pose since it's posited notionally in my mind. Be kind, be happy, be good, be well. Get a shot. Everybody, let me tell you, if we all do it, everything comes back to normal that much sooner, or rather a new normal, whatever they're calling it. Anyway, thanks again for tuning in. Big love. Live long and prosper.
Excellent. Cece.
Hi, I'm Cece, aka Soup, aka Soupska. the Twitters and the Instagrams. I want to plug, hey, did you know that if you have an iPhone and you do iMessaging and you are subscribed to our channel, that you can use our very sweet boy Gary as a sticker on iMessages? I found that out recently. I thought it was pretty cool. You can use all of your favorite Twitch emotes as stickers on iMessages. Just another reason to subscribe to the Laughing Dragon Inn.
Amazing.
So do it.
Yeah.
So do it.
And Marty.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much, everyone. Yeah, apparently you can just spawn our goodest oxboy across all of your sushi meads. But yes, first you must subscribe. Use your Prime subscription if you have one. You do have to refresh that every month. It's a bit of a pain, but what else are you doing? Go over to YouTube, subscribe there, ding a bell. Let us know how often you want us to bother you, because it's a lot. We do this multiple times a week, quite often. So it's endless content. Asterisks. Actual end may vary. But please like, subscribe, join us, won't you? There's more shenanigans like this afoot. And we're going to go off with the sexy snake lady on Stone Giant Adventures. This is that summer between high school and college level of shit. You know what I mean? That's what we're on. Yeah,
She's new hashtag goals for Marley.
Yeah.
She's not felt this way since Ariel.
Ariel. Oh my god. We have to get Ariel back.
We do have to. Oh my god. I'll have to see if Garrett's available soon.
Yeah,
we can record on a Sunday. If
Well,
Liz can't do a game, we could do on a Sunday, and Garrett can make it.
That's a good idea. Next time that comes up, maybe we'll have to see if that would work.
Yeah, I ship Vraska and everyone. It's Star of Vraskas now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it works because Ariel is also from a Magic the Gathering planet, so
that's true. That's true.
It works. But yes, I will echo what everyone has said as always. Please be safe. Please get a shot if you can. Please wear your mask still. Give us a subscribe. Give us a like. Give us a comment. It doesn't cost you anything. Well, it doesn't cost you anything. Let's see. What do we got? Sunday, we have a sassy and classy episode. Very excited for
Just
that.
announced.
Monday's nothing. Wednesday is Task Force Unlikely. We are going ever closer to the finale. Episode, whatever it is, it's Honor Part 1. So we'll see how that goes. It may be the only part of Honor. We'll see. We'll see how quick things get wrapped up.
You should still call it Honor Part 1.
I will. Oh, I will.
For sure.
And that's it. We'll be back in 2 weeks to see what this snake lady's all about. Have a great night, everybody.
Seems really
She's
good.
all about being rad. That's what she's all about.
It's just one of my faves. Bye.
Check yourselves.